My sister and I saved a woman caught in the crossfire of a street shootout. Only later did we learn she was Donna Isabella Moretti, the matriarch of New York's most feared family. Knowing we were poor, she offered us a reward that would change our lives forever. One of us could marry her only son and become the future head of the Moretti family. The other would get $5 million in cash. My sister, Clara, jumped at the chance to marry into the family, even dumping her fiancé she was about to marry. To her, a man who controlled an underground empire was worth far more than a mere $5 million. But she never imagined that the quiet, handsome man was actually a monster, twisted into a paranoid beast by childhood trauma. In less than a year, he tortured her until she had a complete mental breakdown. Meanwhile, I took the $5 million, got a string of shiny degrees from an Ivy League school, and started my own hedge fund on Wall Street. I rode the wave of the market, got help from a powerful mentor, and my career took off. I was surrounded by a flock of handsome, successful men who wanted to date me. When I opened my eyes again, my sister Elena and I were sitting in front of Isabella Moretti. Isabella's eyes were gentle, but held an authority you couldn't question. Her handsome, silent son sat on one side, and on the coffee table was a metal briefcase packed with $5 million. Clara, Elena, which of you will choose first? This time, my sister didn't hesitate to speak first, but she pointed straight at the briefcase. In that instant, I knew. She had been reborn, too. Ladies, I'm a straightforward woman, so I won't beat around the bush. Donna Isabella's voice was calm but powerful. This is my only son, Alaric. He had some accidents as a child, so his personality is a bit withdrawn. He's not interested in the family business. So, I want to choose one of you to be my daughter-in-law and eventually take my place. She gently tapped the briefcase. For the other, here is $5 million in cash, paid in full. Do you need to discuss your choice? When she asked us to choose, my mind was flooded with bloody memories laced with the smell of gunpowder. I knew. I was reborn. The last thing I saw in my previous life was Clara, her hair a mess, shoving me off the rooftop of the mental asylum. As I hit the ground with a heavy thud, I could almost feel the blood pouring from my ears, and hear Clara's crazed, tearing scream. Why you? Elena, why do you get to be so successful and happy? That luck was supposed to be mine. I made the wrong choice, and you reaped all the benefits. Clara blamed me for her own miserable fate, but in our last life, she was the one who eagerly chose to marry Alaric Moretti, desperate to become the queen of this underground kingdom. She even callously dumped her long-term boyfriend to do it. Who could have known that the seemingly gentle Alaric was a complete fucking psycho? On their wedding night, he tied her to the bed and lectured her on Lagrange's theorem all night long. After he finished, he quizzed her on the spot. For every wrong answer, he ripped out one of her fingernails. The next night, it was the Newton-Leibniz formula. If she failed again, one tooth for every mistake. Of course, I only learned all this after Clara had gone completely insane and was screaming it at me in the asylum. I was filled with pity and wanted to help her escape, to get her justice. But I never realized that her greatest pain wasn't the abuse from Alaric. It was the fact that I hadn't suffered the same fate, that my life was so much better than hers. Her jealousy was so consuming that she ignored our blood ties and pushed me from that skyscraper with her own two hands. Reborn, sitting in front of the Morettis, my palms were slick with cold sweat. I swore to myself, this time, I wouldn't give a damn about what happened to Clara. I would never visit her in that asylum. Once I got the money, I'd finish my degree, build my career, and move our grandma somewhere safe where she could finally rest. Just as I expected, Clara couldn't wait to speak first. She had to be the one to choose. It was always like this, ever since we were kids. In our poor family with limited resources, she fought me for everything, and I was used to giving in. Besides, this time, I held all the cards. I knew what she didn't. I watched her calmly. Donna Isabella, I already have a boyfriend. A man as brilliant as Mr. Alaric should be with my sister. I'll take the $5 million.